Alex, we saw some of those small area games out there at the end of practice. What are some of the skills and tangible details that you learn and can practice in those tight quarter situations?
It's just battle against a lot of top-end guys out there. So, practicing with NHL guys every day, you're going to be better. So, of course, it's a good thing.
What about making the offense, though, in those small area games where there's not really any time or space? What can you practice with that?
Just try to create stuff from when you don't have a lot of time. So basically that, and then battle a lot.
What else do you want to see from this team in regards of decision making and making sure that everyone's focused in on the goals throughout the game?
I feel like we just need to play our game. I feel we can't be afraid out there. We need to use our skill. Sometimes it can be a little bit too sloppy. So just to play harder and be more effective out there.
Alex, how are you feeling about your role this year and your usage rate?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Some games I don't play that much, so just trying to focus to get better every day and show them I'm able to play more.
What feedback have you gotten from Lindy, and what are you trying to do to implement this?
It's different stuff. Of course, I try to play my game, but something's up a little bit different. So he wanted me to play hard. That is main thing: battle hard, win 50-50 battles. That's basically what he said. So, but still want to play my game, create a lot of offense out there, and don't be afraid to be creative out there.
We saw some of those small area games there at the end of practice. What are some of the tangible skills that you can really practice without any time and space in those activities?
Yeah, I think just winning puck battles and being able to make a quick play with the guy on you. A lot of times you get in those traffic areas and you get the puck, but the guy you took it off of is trying to get it right back. So being able to make a quick play and execute in those situations.
How do you think improving that area of the game will help the Devils in their game plan and their gameplay?
Yeah, I think just being able to get pucks in those little battle areas and getting it to each other and creating space off that, I think we're doing a decent job at sometimes coming up with the puck but not making that next play. So being able to make the second and third play and kind of get it out of the traffic and get to open ice.
What do you else want to see from this group and from yourselves? What is the next step? What's the main focus that we saw at practice today?
Yeah, I think today, was a good work day. I think, just getting on the same page and I think there was some good battle out there today. I think, it comes down to the game most of the times is winning your 50-50 battles. So, I think we're just looking to, trying to improve our game and making sure we're going to be ready to go next game.
It's never going to be easy, ups and downs throughout the season, but how important is it to stay light at these practices and be able to have a good morale even when things aren't going the way you all want it to?
Yeah, I think you got to stay positive. You could easily start getting down on yourself, but I don't think that's going to help anyone. I think, you just got to, be positive, but also work hard. So I think we did that today, and I think we're going to continue doing that.
Chris, this is a really, really, really random one. But there was, a thing that came out on Hockey Reference. It listed all the hockey players, nicknames, stuff like that. Yours was the Cobra.
Right.
What's kind of the story behind that?
Yeah, that was back in San Jose. That was Joe Thornton who came up with that one. So I think it was like my second year there, and we were in LA, and it was Kobe's last game actually when we were there, and he was saying how cool the nickname Mamba was. So he was trying to come up with, he's like, you need a nickname, and he started trying to say Gardener Snake or something pretty lame. So we started joking and said, I said, what about the Cobra? That's a cool one. And then he just kind of ran with that, and knowing him, he starts yelling it all over the room, and it kind of catches on, and then Twitter gets a handle on it, and it just kind of goes from there. So that was from there.
And I won't make you explain the other one. It's just Tierney.
Yeah, I think that's pretty simple with the names. So, that's the one most guys use now. The Cobra pretty much stayed in San Jose, but Timo still calls me that sometimes. He was around for that, so yeah.
Curtis, can you just walk us through some of the things that you guys are focusing on, whether video sessions or practice today? It looked like there were some drills that were quite specific.
Yeah, a few details, gapping them pucks, killing plays sooner, but ultimately, that just comes out of urgency. Urgency is kind of the area we focus on, that desperation, being competitive on pucks all over the ice. And then from there on, our game's going to build. A lot of it too, you think about our D zones, the breakdowns, and what the area we want to clean up. Well, a lot of that happens in the offensive zone. A little sloppy on our routes in the forecheck, not having good sticks. You're not getting above them, which is allowing them an opportunity to enter our zone. So again, just clean up a few areas there, and we're going to be all right. It's still early in the season, and we expect a lot out of ourselves, and then that's good. That's because we care. So again, continue to work at it in practice in the film room, and just get better for the next day.
How do you make sure that you're keeping that morale up and you're not taking anything too hard or taking the emotions too high either?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're hard on ourselves because we care. We want to win. But in saying that, it's the game of hockey. It's fun. That's why we all fell in love with it. That's why we played and aspired to make the NHL. So, we're going to do it as a whole. It's not one individual here and there, but I think everyone here offers, a unique skill set that is a piece of that puzzle that can kind of help us get to where we want to. So once it all comes together, it's going to be a good feeling.
Those small area games, can you just talk about some of the quick decisions and the no space you have and how that can really help when you're actually on the ice in a real NHL game?
Yeah, those games are fun. Like you said, there's not much room to do anything really, so you got to be strong on the puck. You got to be heavy. You know that something's going to be on you, and a lot of the time it's just kind of eating the puck. We talk about that. The offensive zone, you have it, hanging on to it, being strong, not giving them a free breakout. In the D zone as well. There's no point in passing your problem on this, someone else. Just being strong, but also like you said, you have some fun out there. There's a chance to bump into each other. That you can set each other straight, I guess.
Lindy's talked about, how defense is almost an individual commitment, among players. Would you say that you've seen growth from game 1 to game 13, I guess it is now, with the defense as a whole?
Yeah, you can nitpick and look at things any different way you want. It kind of depends which way you look at it. The way that we do, it's kind of our decision-making and whatnot, and we've proved and shown that we can do it. It's just a matter of being consistent. We touched on our starts. We did a lot of good things off that start. We just happened to get behind the 8 ball there, and again, you're chasing a game. So kind of pulling the good from that and replicating as much as possible because it is there. And like I said, the season's long. There's no point in dwelling on the bad here and there. It's that constructive criticism where you learn from it, you move on, and you push each other to get better.
Obviously, a few key absences here. Is part of this also like trying to formulate some new chemistry with some new looking lines?
Yeah, I think so, but that's all part of the challenge. For guys that are playing here, it's more of an opportunity, and you got to embrace that. You got to rise to that, and of course, we miss Jack, Nico, Colin. The list goes on and on with guys. But like I said, you got to play hard. You got to take pride in representing this team, and everyone's capable of doing the job. So when it comes down to, like you said, the offense. Am I going to be out there dancing like Jack Hughes? Absolutely not. But what I can do is, play that strong game down low, hold on the pucks, and kind of get those gritty goals.
Just going back to the close quarters games, is part of the main message right now to you guys. We have to win those puck battles, play a little grittier, and have to play a stronger on the puck. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the times, you're in the right spot, but if you don't go through hands or if you don't go through the body, that gives them that second life, the second chance. It's they bump the puck, it can only be a couple feet, and everything kind of changes. So going there with that mentality, I'm not going to lose this battle. I'm going to do my job, knowing that you have the support. That's what it all comes down to. Because you can be in the right spots, but if you don't execute, positionally or strength-wise, we talk about that urgency, then you're going to have a problem. So once it comes together, it's going to be good.
Lindy, we saw those small area ice games. Can you just explain some of the tangible skills that can be practiced without any time and space?
Well, I think if you look at some of our offensive zone play, and we call it quick strike offense, we were just a second slow yesterday. If we executed, we would have put the puck in the back of the net, and we didn't perform the task the way we wanted. How do you keep this team focused on improving, and even though they have some disappointing losses recently, just keep the mood at least even keel? You got to focus. Yesterday was yesterday. We got to focus on today. I thought we had a real good practice. I thought the energy was good. I thought the life in the practice was good. And you got to deal with adversity, and you got to look for ways to get better. We focused a lot on our forecheck, and we focused on our offensive zone play. And so if we use these next couple practices to get just a little bit better in a couple areas, it'll help you win hockey games.
Lindy, curious your thoughts on what you've seen from Tierney since it's being called up, and what he's been able to do since being on this roster.
I think he's supplied us with solid play. Had the one big mistake in the Colorado game that we don't really want to put the puck in that area. But when it comes to playing the game the right way, he's provided that. He's been good on face-offs. So I think when you look at his overall game, we've got that veteran guy that's had a lot of games in NHL and knows how to play the game.
Is it just standard maintenance day for Luke, Eric, and Mike?
Yeah, just maintenance for all three of them, and they'll be back in all likelihood, all three of them on Monday.
And you've said before that the road is where your team really comes together. Did you see that in the last trip, and do you anticipate more of that in the next one?
Again, I said last night, we're dealing with some adversity. We're dealing without a couple key players. Our game has to be a little bit different. And we're working hard on that part of the game, the understanding of what we can give up versus, what we're going to create with the absence of a couple key offensive players.
Dawson was just out on the ice doing some extra work. What have you seen from him, and what are you expecting from him? Anything more?
Well, I said this when I was asked about him before he hadn't scored, that it'll be a matter of time, that, I had confidence he was going to be able to put it in the back of the net. He's got his opportunity, power play goal and then scored again. So we need his creativity. We need him to find the back of the net. I'd like him in some situations just to be a little harder on the puck. Some of those battles got to be battles that we win, and that'll lead to better opportunities for us.
Lindy, yesterday, and you talked about it a little bit more today about not having Jack and Nico and the creativity that they have, but you need to be creative in your own ways with who is on the ice right now. What does that look like with the skill of the guys who are on the ice right now?
Well, all players have good skill. I think you're in some situations you're trying to stay away from maybe the other team's best defensive pair, away from a guy maybe like Bratter or that, where he can maybe take advantage of a 4, 5, 6 type defenseman. So when you're looking at matchups, and last night, there wasn't a lot going on 5-on-5 with both teams, so it was an opportunity to try some personnel with different people to see if we could spur a little bit of offense. And, I think putting that really big line together with Timo and Bass and Mikey led to a goal. I thought it was just a line where we out-muscled them, got to the front of the net, and created some opportunities. So, inside of that, with those two guys missing, there's really no fixed lines, but I think sometimes there's matchups you can look for that can put some of our players in a better position.
Can you ever sense from a team, not necessarily right now, but when you have such top guys out, that it creeps into the mentality of the guys who are there, like, oh, I wish we had them, we kind of need them? Is that something that happens?
I think a lot of guys look at it, boy, I'm going to get more ice time. And I'm being serious about that. It looks like they feel like this is my opportunity to try to grab a hold a little bit and prove that I can play a little bit more. And that's the way I'd want any player to approach it. What's not there, you can't do anything about. But when you're playing, you can take control of your own shifts.
Lindy, when a player is trying to get more ice time, what are the honest conversations look like between you and them, specifically Holtz, who kind of brought that up today?
Play away from the puck. I think if you look at the first goal against again, in our system, he has to do a better job. We've got a D that's on the wall. He's backing the defenseman up. So, I always tell the players, if you want to play more, don't get scored against. And really, it comes down to that. And he's not the only player. We had a meeting today, really, on that side of the puck about what went wrong in some of our tracking situations. And if you're on the ice and you're getting scored against and you're not scoring, then it's tough to get ice time.
In a practice like today, specifically the close quarters, what are you looking for your goaltenders to work on?
Just sort out chaos, which a lot of that is. That's a tough one on the goalies. That drill isn't made for the goalies. They're there to help us out by trying to, create a competitive game. We're looking for just small ice compete, making plays in a real tight area, and trying to help promote a little bit of that quick strike where, you get that half a second to get a puck on the net, you got to get it on.
Anything new on Jack, Nico, or Miller?
I'd say they're progressing. I have hopes that Miller will be able to join us on this trip, and possibly we'll see where the other guys are at by Monday.